morning everyone. Welcome to our third virtual Grangefield assembly. I hope you had a good weekend. I caught up with Mrs Lewis on the phone at the end of last week and thank you to you for your advice. She was compassionate and she did share that last Easter chocolate of hers. Now today's assembly is about having compassion for the elderly and I'd like to start by showing you some photos of mine. So hold that up. This is me when I was around 8 years old and my mum and my nanny. Now unfortunately my nanny died a few years ago, but I have so many happy memories of the time I spent with her when I was a child. I loved going to her house. She had special toys for me, my favourite cartoons, she would play cards with me and she would cook me my favourite meal, steak and chips. She really did spoil me. Now, as I got older, my nanny started to get older too. I'll show you another photograph. This is some years later. This is me and my husband and my nanny on our wedding day. I was so proud to have my nanny there when I got married. So as I said, as she got older and I got older, I started to do more to help her. I would go once a week and help her with her cleaning. I'd go to the shops for her if she needed to me. It was now my turn to take care of her, although she would always still get me a piece of steak. I bet that's got you thinking about what makes your grandparents special. In the Bible, the holy book for Christians, there's a whole book devoted to telling the story of a woman called Ruth. She's remembered because of the compassion and the devotion that she showed to her mother-in-law, Naomi. I'll tell you their story now. Ruth 1, Ruth and Naomi. In the days when judges ruled Israel, there was a famine. The harvest was so bad that a man named Elimelech left the town of Bethlehem in search of food. He settled in the plains of Moab with his wife Naomi and their 2 sons. They were just starting their new life when Elimelech died suddenly. Naomi was grief-stricken, but her 2 sons comforted her. Soon the sons married Moabite girls, Orpah and Ruth, and Naomi began to look forward to having grandchildren. But there were no children, and tragedy struck again. Both her sons fell sick and died. So Naomi was left alone in a foreign country, desperately poor and heartbroken. Now Orpah and Ruth, they loved their mother-in-law dearly and they tried to console her, but Naomi just shook her head. She felt that God had dealt with her very harshly and she would weep and sit alone and stare into the distance. "There is nothing for me here," Naomi would say. "I must return to my own people in Bethlehem." The 2 young women followed her down the road, but she stopped and said, "Go back, daughters. You must find new husbands. Perhaps the Lord will show kindness to you for all that you have done for me." And then she walked away and carried on. But Orpah and Ruth burst out crying and ran after her. "No, no," she pleaded with them. "Go home. I am too old to marry again, and I have no sons for you." So Orpah kissed Naomi gently and turned back towards Moab. But Ruth clung to her. "Your sister-in-law is going back to her people and her gods," said Naomi. "Go back with her." "Never," said Ruth, and she looked at Naomi, her eyes full of tears. "Never. I will never leave you. Where you go, I will go, and where you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and my God will be your God. Nothing but death shall ever separate me from you." Naomi looked at Ruth, astonished at her great love and her loyalty. She shook her head, knowing that she had nothing but poverty and sadness to offer her. but Ruth continued to walk beside her. When Naomi saw Ruth was determined to go with her, she stopped protesting, and so the two women walked on to Bethlehem. Now, when Ruth and Naomi arrived in Bethlehem, the people said, "Can this be Naomi, who left with her husband and 2 sons?" They couldn't believe how poor and frail and full of grief this woman was now. And they were surprised to see her daughter-in-law, Ruth, with her. Why had she left the land of Moab to come here? Naomi and Ruth settled in Naomi's old house. It was covered in dust and weeds, and it was half ruined, but Ruth cleaned it up and made it as comfortable as possible. The barley harvest was just beginning in those days, and the poor people of Israel had the right to follow the harvesters and pick up any grain that fell on the ground. So Ruth went out to the fields. That evening, they would be able to make bread with the grain that she had managed to pick up. So Ruth found a field and she gleaned all day. Later on, the owner of the field, a man named Boaz, noticed her. And then here, there's a few coincidences, because Boaz actually was related to Elimelech, who was the man that Naomi was married to before he died. And he realised that Ruth was with Naomi. So he said, you must pick as much as you want from these fields. Stay with the servant girls. Stay here and I'll help you. And he allowed her to get water from the water jugs. And it was because he knew that Ruth herself had given up so much to follow Naomi back to Bethlehem. And he was impressed with how much she cared for Naomi and the compassion that she showed. He was so impressed, in fact, that they ended up getting married, and sometime after that they had a little boy. And so in the end, Naomi did get to become a grandparent. Now, grandparents are especially important. I'm going to show you another photo now. So this is a photo of me and my daughter Lola and my mum. So of course now I'm a mother and my mother is a grandmother. We call her Granzy. And Lola and Granzy have a very special relationship. They do cooking and craft together. Lola has her own special sweetie tin, and the 3 of us enjoy chatting together on the sofa or out in the garden. But Lola's also learning to look after her Granzy by doing little jobs for her and making sure she knows how much she is loved. It's important that we care for the older members of our families and make sure that they know they are special. They've often spent many years looking after other people in the family. So I'd like you to try and think of some ways that this week you can show the older members of your family just how much you love them and just how important they are. It's quite tough at the moment. We're not all able to see the family members that we want to. So feel that compassion for how it might feel for them not able to see you, and come up with some creative ideas of ways to get in touch. Have a great week, Grangefield, and I'll see you again soon.